Jarvis, drop my needle.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and if you are interested in listening to idiots, you came to the right place. Have a nice day.
Woo! That's an attention getter.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Oh my God, he's an idiot.
You know, of course, that you're out of your jurisdiction.
Personally, I think you're an idiot.
But that's the evidence in the car.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
Always like to keep my audience riveted.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, friends and fiends, and welcome to Free Range Idiocy, the podcast about everything, but mostly just the stuff we like. March Madness is upon us, and millions of people are basking in the glory of amateur athletics, and let's be honest, gambling. Since we've both invested far too much of our portfolio in bourbon, we don't have any skin in the basketball aspect of this month, but we are always up for a good bracket. So for the next 2 weeks, we'll be sharing our bracket of the greatest wrestling tag teams of the last 5-ish decades. So get settled in and get ready for this, episode 239, Hot Tag Bonanza. I am your Uncle Todd, and with me, as always, the man who was supposed to be Shawn Michaels' original partner in the Rockers, but was edged out by backstage politicking. He has been my partner in Idiocy for over 2 decades and cheered heartily when HBK threw Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window. I give you the man they call Tim. Well, here we go. Did you see that, Gorilla? Jannetty tried to jump through the window. What a coward.
Oh my gosh! Actually, as you were doing the intro, I was checking my my work bracket for the NCAA men's tournament. I am I'm El Primero.
Are you serious?
I am.
Who you got winning the whole thing? I haven't been paying attention to anything.
UConn.
Oh God, here we go. Frack me.
Yeah. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, man they call Tim. That's why he has the belt, baby. I love watching the look on your face.
I'm just going to ignore.
Borderline disgust, borderline
there's nothing borderline about it. There's absolutely nothing borderline about it. It's right out there on Front Street, sir.
There it is, baby. Woo!
The one thing I will say, so
you get to wear that around your waist when you're out here. That'd feel pretty good.
I mean, it was all right.
Don't downplay it. Come on now.
You feel like you kind of stretched it out a little.
I did. I had to break it in. I'm not going to lie. I had to break it in.
The only thing that makes this more palatable, you and your belt, is the fact that my wife is watching Modern Family downstairs. So I'm like, I would rather listen to you talk about your belt than watch Modern Family.
Well, there you go.
So that's a good thing.
And did I show you? Have I shown you these yet?
Oh no, but thank God those finally got there. I was so relieved when you told me those
have
been delivered.
The CM Punk side plates, for which I have no belt to put them on, but I am working on that.
See, now I meant to text you on Monday to see if you would put in your order then, because for 3/16 day they had 31.6% off.
I thought I looked on that day and I didn't see the title belts. I didn't think were included in that.
Yeah, it might not have been. That's where the real money is. So yeah, get your lousy shirt, but belt, you're paying full price, nerd.
So just know, folks, if you need some prognostication, right here is the man. And we're about to get into it. On the wrestling tag team front, we've done we've done top wrestlers, we've done wrestling finishers, and as we were racking our brains for what the hell are we going to do this year, the man they called him swooped in with the idea to save us, and said, "Hey, what about tag teams? We haven't done those yet. Boy, oh boy, are we in trouble for next year?" And we got to start brainstorming and thinking of something, for crying out loud.
Which means next February we'll be having this exact same conversation of
possibly.
Shit. Now
maybe
what?
We need to do women's wrestlers. We really haven't done anything on the women's front, and we might have enough to be able to do that. So
maybe we'll talk about it.
I mean, it's going to be a little rough doing it by decade, because I don't know that the rosters were terribly deep back in the 80s. So
can't do it by decade. That would just be ridiculous.
No, that would. All right. Well, yeah, we have this broken up by decade, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are going to, on this episode, I should say, we're going to be doing the 1980s, the top 16 tag teams from the 1980s, and then the top 16 tag teams from the 2010s and 2020s. So basically, we took those 2 decades and kind of brought together the best teams from those two. Unfortunately, tag team wrestling has kind of, I don't want to say been on the decline, but it's not been given the focus that it
Vince
once
McMahon
had.
was trying to kill it off since the 80s, so it
Pretty
makes
much.
sense.
Pretty much. So, but yeah, so the 80s kind of represents the apex. There was some good teams in the 90s. So next, our next episode, we will do the 90s, the 1990s, and the 2000s. Although the 2000s is a little bit of a desert, my good Lord. But all right, so let's kick things off. So we have our brackets for the 1980s. Is there any other intro, sir, you wanted to go into here, or do you want me to just dive in and start introducing our first round brackets?
Now let's do it. We know this is going to take us a while, so let's dive. Well,
hopefully not. Hopefully we can just kind of.
We always say that.
Well, that's on you. You like to talk a lot, so. Oh, I'm kidding. Come on now. Little joke there, sir. What are you eating over there, by the way? You got some cashews? No, I can't tell. I can't tell. Is it peanuts? Oh, bring the microphone over and stop being a little baby. Come on now. I can do this all day long. He's not going to talk. All right, here's our brackets. We have in round 1, we have the tag team of Strikeforce, Tito Santana and Rick Martel, against the Fabulous Freebirds, comprised of Michael P.S. Hayes, and I don't remember who the other 2 guys are, so let me look that up real quick. Well, you could be helping me out here. Yeah,
I was told I talked too much, so here I'm
oh, geez,
do this
here
for
we
you.
go. Michael P.S. Hayes, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, and Buddy Roberts are comprising that group, who feuded quite a bit with the Von Erichs back in the day. Let's see. Next, we'll have. Oh gosh, this is gonna.
Do we want to just go over them individually as we're doing the matchups rather than doing the whole thing, or?
Well, I mean, I was just kind of. I'll just run through them real quick. Okay. So we'll do the Rock and Roll Express against Demolition. We have the Rockers against the Powers of Pain. We have the Dream Team versus the Rougeau Brothers. The Midnight Express versus the Islanders. The Road Warriors versus the Andersons, Ole and Arn. The Killer Bees versus the Hart Foundation. And the Brain Busters versus the British Bulldogs. So Arn Anderson has the distinction of being on 2 teams in this bracket, which have stood out. All right. Where shall we
the
start?
Brain Busters again? Why am I blank? Is it Zabisco?
No, it was Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
And they were really just a team in the WWE.
Yes.
They were the 4 horsemen in WCW.
Yeah, I just couldn't, for whatever reason, I was thinking Zabisco, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
No. All right, so let's start at the top, sir. Any detail we need to go in? So Strikeforce, I already talked about. Fabulous Freebirds, I already talked about. In any history, we need to talk about those 2 to kind of work out who we're going to select.
I mean, not really. I mean, I think, I mean, aside from the fact that the Freebirds kind of were pioneers in that you have the Freebird rule, where it's it's a 3-person tag team that can defend a 2-person tag team title with any 2 members of that 3-person pool. Yeah. And oddly enough, there will be then kind of this same sort of thing that will happen with another team in this bracket as well, but then it went on to kind of be influential in that became like the Freebird rule, that tag teams would then do that, where they'd have this loose conglomeration of folks, and it's like, well, this guy's hurt, so this guy's going to step in. So there is that, but they were also kind of a really big deal, and even someone like me who is ignorant of wrestling outside of WWF, WWE, and really, mid 80s on, even I know the impact these guys had. So, I mean, for me, it was an easy call. As much as like Strike Force was kind of a good team, I remember, growing up, Freebirds win that match pretty easily.
Yeah, and I mean with the Freebirds too, they had, unfortunately with Strike Force, there isn't really a blood feud there. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to use. I caught myself doing this a lot last year, and I want to be careful. Like, impact plays a big deal, to me, but it's not the only thing. But when you think about these two teams, Strike Force was short lived. Yes, they held the WWE Tag Team Championships for a period of time, but they didn't hold it very long. They didn't last very long as a team, and they didn't really have a super strong feud with any one team. Demolition beat them, I believe, at WrestleMania for the World Tag Team Championship. And that was kind of it. And then it was kind of, the beginning of the end as Martel would split off and become the model, and Tito Santana would continue as, kind of the baby face that he was before, he kind of rode off into the sunset. The Freebirds, though, they were involved in a blood feud with the Von Erichs. I mean, honestly, I don't know of another feud they were in that was as strong as that. I think that was like their apex, their pinnacle. But man, like they were hot. They were red hot. And they pioneered this approach where, they would win the belts, and then any two out of the three of them would go and defend the belts, which of course put the babyface team at a disadvantage, so to speak, because they didn't know who they were going to be facing. Mm-hmm. And so it became this whole thing that they kind of established. So when you think about just longevity, because they were together for a while, the drawing power they had, the fact that they had a almost like a cultural impact, especially in Texas with the Von Erichs, and worked across, they were in WCW, NWA, and the territories. Just to me, they're the ones to advance, just much more significant than the Strike Force duo.
Well, I mean, especially when you think about like they set a precedent, which is tough to do in in any industry. Let's face it. Yep. But I mean, if you then are part of like something that's like, it happened because of these guys, even though that probably wasn't their idea, but they're the ones that are known for it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So who are you advancing? You going Freebirds?
Oh, Freebirds. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going Freebirds as well. All right. Now we got the Rock and Roll Express, made up of Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. Mm-hmm. They unfortunately have to go up against the Demolition. Oh my God. That theme song was, I mean, damn, that thing hit and the crowd would get up off their butts and be cheering like crazy for those guys. It was, oh my gosh. So fun to watch. I can't tell you how many Saturday afternoons I watch WWE Superstars or WWF Superstars, and just you watch them come in and they just beat the hell out of some jobber.
Oh yeah.
It was brutal. It was just awful for those guys. Oh my God. Almost wonder if the booker was just kind of like, go out there and just, I want to see at least 10 welts on that back. You know what I mean? It's just like, good God.
Probably. I mean, that was old school, man.
That was. This one's hard because the Rock and Roll Express, has the longevity, has the history, has the titles, across multiple promotions. I don't know that they ever really made a name for themselves in WWE per se. I mean, I think they had a presence in.
I think they're one of those teams that like they literally had a huge impact everywhere else but WWF.
Yes. Yep.
Which is kind of crazy because everybody eventually filtered through WWF.
Yep.
And they really didn't, because I don't remember them at all. I mean, this kind of would have been the prime time for them to be there, right?
Yep.
Granted, I mean, I think one of them is still wrestling today.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah. Not to mention they pioneered the the term who's playing the Ricky Morton role in a tag team match, which is the babyface who's usually getting pummeled throughout most of the match, but makes the hot tag, which gets the crowd really kind of fired up and into the the comeback for the babyface team.
Who was it?
And then you have Demolition. Oh, sorry.
Who was it that we were talking about where they were giving an interview like years after they retired, and someone was like, "Yeah, they were going to pair us up," and it was like, "Who's going to come out for the hot tag?" Like neither one of them were that guy, and they're like 2 Rickies, no Robert.
Yes.
I forget who they was. It was talking about that. It was
were Sandman, and
yes.
Sandman and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I think. Right?
Who's going to get the hot tag?
Right.
Who's going to be the worker?
Yes.
Like we can both like get our ass kicked, but who's going to actually work in the match? Like neither one of us. I thought that was great. Oh my god,
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then you have Demolition, who.
So you have Axe and Smash.
What else you say?
Who started out as heels, managed by Mr. Fuji, and and again, like their big thing was, let me see if I can find it here. If they have, they had 3 title reigns in the WWE with a record-setting reign of, I believe. Let me just double check this. How long was Demolition?
I want to say it's over 400 days.
Let's see. It is their initial reign of 478 days stood as the longest in WWE history for 30 years until it was surpassed by the New Day in 2016. And they had a combined of all 3 title reigns, they had a combined total of 698 days across 3 separate reigns. And man, they were dominant. They were just dominant. Now they did not exist in any other promotion. If anything, this was Vince's version of the Road Warriors that he put forth. And eventually we did have, Demolition and the Road Warriors in the WWE at the same time. And I think they did feud, but it never really seemed to, I always found that strange. It was kind of like Hogan and Flair too. Like there were these like homegrown like feuds you thought would be like massive, buildups and draws and that sort of thing, and they just never seemed to materialize. It was really weird. I don't know if it was a political thing or something else, but
so oddball thing about the Hogan Flair thing. I watched some sort of video. Oh, it was Brian Zane, and he was talking about WrestleMania 8 and how they had Sid Justice and Hogan and Macho Man and Nate. Mm-hmm. And apparently, the original plan was Hogan and Flair, like the dream match.
Yep.
And that they did a test run of matches and at house shows and didn't get a good reaction. And he's like, but they did the test run was in California. And he's like, why wouldn't you do that like in the East Coast or like literally anywhere else that those guys had worked? But you do it in California, which at that time was not a hotbed for WWF.
Yeah.
Or, and so it's like, it seemed like a really bad data set that they collected. Yeah. And I wonder, so there is that. Mm-hmm. I wonder with Demolition though, was this at the period when they had Crush? So it wasn't Axe and Smash anymore. I think it was basically, it wasn't Smash and Crush.
Crush came later on.
Okay.
Let me see.
Because I remember at one, like it would seem to be such a natural thing, but I also wonder if they were worried about taking the steam off of both of them, putting them in the ring together, and people being like, well, it's the same friggin' team. If they're like, well, if we keep them apart, no one will notice. I don't know.
So Crush joined in 1990.
Okay.
And Demolition debuted in 1987. So... yeah. But that was also toward the end of their run. I think they kind of wrapped up as a team probably in 90 or 91. Like they didn't go much beyond that.
No, once Crush was there, because it was briefly, it was Axe, Smash, and Crush, which was the Freebird rule, and then Axe was done.
Yep. Yeah, Axe. I mean, that's why he was brought in, because I think Axe was kind of on his way out as a performer.
Yeah.
Physically, just couldn't continue. So who are you taking?
Man, I'm going to go back on what I just established with the previous one, because by most measures, Rock and Roll Express should have the thing here, like the cultural impact, everything you said, and even in terms of like their according to Corny, like their proficiency with ring rats. where he would joke like, he's like, well, if you didn't have anyone to spend the night with, you could just go around to where they were lining up for the Rock and Roll Express and try and peel a couple off the end of the line.
Oh my God. Good Lord.
But Jim makes it sound charming.
It's only Uncle Corny can,
but I'm gonna go with Demolition here. Like, I'm going with my heart. Like, that was the team that when I first saw them, I was like, oh my gosh, like these are just and the thing is, like, they weren't carbon copies of the Road Warriors in that Demolition did not have the bodies that the Road Warriors did. Like, they were not that jacked sort of thing. They were two dudes.
They were two wrecking machines is what they were.
But there were two guys who you're like, almost like an Arn Anderson thing, where Arn Anderson never had like this bodybuilder thing. He just looked like a guy who could fight.
Yes.
Like, you saw him and you're like, that's a shop teacher who decides he's going to go out and kick somebody's ass on a Saturday night and goes looking for one, looking for a fight. And that was Demolition. And I just thought that was cooler than cool. So, I mean, I kind of have to go with that in spite of what I just said with the Freebirds. So I'm going to go.
I'm kind of shocked reading that they debuted in 87. Like, again, I don't know if it was me being a kid or, the fact that we didn't have some of the technology we have now and whatnot, but I just feel like their time in WWE was longer than 4 years. Like, it's just incredible. Like, the fact that, like, they really were only in WWE for really just 4, maybe 5 years at best. I mean, they packed a lot into that because it seemed like they were champions for a long time. They were champions for over a year, close to a year and a half, I think. And then they won them back, but they were just always in the mix. They were always in the mix. And so I guess maybe being a top team across 3-4 years, you just me as a kid, you just kind of think they've been around for a decade or something like that, like that's the part that blows me away. Like, it feels like they were around a lot longer than they were.
Well, it's that strange elasticity of time. Like, when you're a kid and stuff can feel like it lasts forever, but like you said also very astutely, like the lack of other options. And the fact that stuff just wasn't on demand. Like, you were watching Superstars on Saturday, and if you missed it, you missed it. Like, you might catch a highlight here and there the next time around if it was germane to the story, but otherwise, like, you just missed what happened. So
it's kind of like going back to your elementary school or your middle school as an adult, and you're like, this place looked huge to me when I was a kid. Why does it look so small to me now?
So funny story with that, when Dover High School was getting demolished, when they built the new one, and it was like, it was literally like almost wrapped around the old building. And they were going to tear down the old building, and they basically opened it up and like, hey, if you've been here and this and that, they were auctioning off like stuff too. I was like, I don't want to buy a desk, but I was like, we kind of made a day of it, and I brought Kaylin and my wife, and just walking around, I'm like, wow, okay, yeah, this just feels very different and yet very much the same. It's that weird sort of like you're having those two feelings at once, and yeah, very odd. Anyways, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Demolition as well. If you couldn't tell, I'm in the bag for them. And similar to you, I'm kind of going against maybe some of the things I said for the first matchup, because probably from a longevity standpoint, from a longevity standpoint, Rock and Roll Express was a team long past what Demolition was, but there is something about the impact and cultural significance of what they brought that, for this year, they're going to be in the Hall of Fame. And, for a lot of fans, it's kind of like, this is long overdue. Like, these guys, again, even for the short time they were around, they made a massive impact when they were a team. And so, I'm all for Demolition moving forward. All right. Our next one is the Rockers and the Powers of Pain.
Who are the Powers of Pain again? Is that
the Barbarian and the Warlord?
Yes.
Both of them jacked up beyond probably what most human bodies can be.
There was a story I think Kevin Nash was telling about the Barbarian, and apparently he gave Shawn Michaels like a needle and was asking him to like inject him. And like Michaels is trying to inject him and he can't. And apparently Michaels is just like, dude, I think you're full. Like, but because it couldn't like get through the muscle, like you literally couldn't inject into the muscle because it was just like,
holy crap.
It's like, dude, I think you're full.
That's crazy. I mean, both of them were just absolutely jacked. Another team that was managed by Mr. Fuji. I think they were brought in to feud with Demolition when Demolition turned babyface.
That would make sense.
And ended up on the losing end of things. That they were kind of like, it's funny. They were kind of like in some ways a Road Warrior-esque team because they did have the chiseled physique and everything, but they were never pushed as like a dominant force. Like they always, they seemed dominant and then they would lose the feud, Well,
I mean, did either of those guys really have a lot of charisma though? I mean, did they really have mic skills or anything, I mean, did the Road Warriors?
It was all on Mr. Fuji. It was all on the manager because they really didn't speak. So neither of those guys, I don't remember either of them cutting a promo.
Which is hilarious when you think about like Mr. Fuji. Like you're putting a guy out there, and I don't know what Mr. Fuji's like legit, language capabilities were but I mean, you're literally putting a character out there who's speaking English like it's their fifth language.
Yeah.
Like these, and it kind of very stereotypical because that's the character that they're playing. It's like, how bad are your mic skills? Where they're like, we're going to have the dude who's speaking broken English speak for you because it is far better. Like, how piss poor are you on the stick where they're like, you know what? Just don't say anything ever to anyone. Nothing. Just please.
Yeah. And then we have the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, who even prior to their time in WWE, if you've watched the documentaries, like they were looking to innovate and become and really bring a different style into tag team wrestling. I remember, I don't know if it was Shawn Michaels, kind of, I don't know what to call it, documentary that WWE did when Sherry Martel talked about like how he and Jannetty would play with like action figures and kind of figure out like moves to try in the ring. But they were very synchronized. I mean, they just brought something different. They brought an energy that was different. Now they never held a tag team championship. Neither did Powers of Pain. They did, but it was never televised and never acknowledged.
I was going to say, because
the Rockers beat the Hart Foundation, but the ropes apparently during that match broke. I think it was like a 2 out of 3 falls match or something like that. And they won, but they never acknowledged the win on television.
Which is insane for how like
it never happened.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, and to your point, like the whole synchronized thing, like them coming out and they used to do the thing where they were running the ropes, crisscrossing each other.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember as a kid watching that, just being like, that is so cool. Cause they're both running pretty flat out and not running into each other, which I'm like, holy crap. Like even I as a kid know, like that's not the easiest thing to do.
Yep.
And then they do the missile drop kicks off the corner and those guys were just felt like way far ahead of the time.
They were. So I'm actually, in this case of the Rockers and the Powers of Pain, I'm going to go with the Rockers on this one.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, but without even thought. Yeah.
All right, our next pairing are 2 heel teams, one of whom started out as a babyface and ended up being, just turning heel and becoming the diabolical heels known as the Rougeau brothers.
Quick question here.
Yes, sir.
What was the team with Akeem?
And Big Boss Man?
Yes.
The Twin Towers.
How is that not on here?
I asked for the top 16 teams from the 80s from our AI overlords, and this is what I got. So,
damn you, Chad.
Also not here is the Natural Disasters, Typhoon and Earthquake, and also Money Incorporated, Ted DiBiase and IRS.
This entire bracket is illegitimate.
Oh, stop it. I was including teams from other divisions as well, from other promotions as well. You can't have everyone. I'm sorry. You have to make some cuts at some point. So the Dream Team, who was managed by luscious Johnny Valiant, was comprised of Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake before he became the Barber. They held the WWE Tag Championships for about 8 months, which I know may sound short, but at the time was a long reign. I believe they beat the. I think they. Let me think. I thought they beat the U.S. Express, who was Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda. But nonetheless,
Express was a very big thing in the 80s, wasn't it?
It was.
It was like having a Z at the end of your name in the 90s.
Kind of. But no, I remember Brutus Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine. Man, they were you just hated them. They just played like the cocky, we're the stars sort of thing, and we're the tag champs. And like again, when I saw that it was only 8 months, I'm like, their reign felt forever.
Mm-hmm.
It was long. And when I think it was the Bulldogs that finally beat them or something like that. But man, you're just like, good God Almighty, when are they going to lose? So.
Well, it's almost like Hulk Hogan's, championship reigns. I mean, he legit held the belt for a long time, but it felt like it was literally from like January 1st of 1980 until like March of 1993. It just it felt like he never lost, and I know that he did, but it's like one of those things like when you're growing up, like it was just forever.
Yes. Sorry, just 1 second. I have to text.
You do that, and then and then the Rougeau brothers. What was it, Jacques and someone else?
Jacques and Raymond. Raymond, but it was Raymond.
Well, I mean, it sounds better when it's not Raymond. I mean, everybody loves Raymond.
Let me see if they had a manager, because I thought at one point they did.
I want to say it was Jimmy Hart. Because he would like manage everybody. He would literally just go in and change his like blazer.
Yes,
it was Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, it was Jimmy Hart. I thought at one point they had someone. Maybe it was. I wonder if when they were fighting with the Bulldogs that they had a dog that they called Frenchie or something like that. I just remember there was something called Frenchie that was, it was really funny. It was just like, it was so stupid.
Weren't they also like peripherally involved like Dino Bravo at one point?
Yes. Yeah. Well, that was from the Jimmy Hart connection, because Jimmy Hart was managing Dino Bravo as well.
Yeah, maybe they had a French Bulldog. I love how you're Googling this stuff like we're trying to uncover like national treasure level secrets.
Okay. Frenchie referred to Frenchie Martin, a French-Canadian manager and wrestler who frequently appeared alongside their fellow countryman Dino Bravo. So I'm confusing him with Dino Bravo. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
No, but you are correct. Jimmy Hart was the manager of the Rougeaus. Yes. So you had, and let me just double check with the Dream Team here.
And didn't one of the Rougeaus, did they go on to become the Quebecers or the Mounties? Like one of them.
Both. They became the Quebecers.
Jeez.
And then when they went, he was called Luscious Johnny Valiant, also known as Johnny V. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Jacques Rougeau continued wrestling into the 90s. I think Ray Rougeau retired end of the 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
And it was Jacques Rougeau and Pierre Ouellette who were the Quebecers.
Okay.
And Pierre Ouellette then went on to, I thought he did like a pirate gimmick or something like that. And then like as of late, like in the 2000s and 2010s, he did this like crazy gimmick called PCO where he was like a Frankenstein character. It was really weird. But it was done on the indies, and I guess it was a big hit with the fans there. So
it's just funny to me, like we talk about, the Samoan connection with a WWE, and it's like they also had a never-ending stream of Canadians that they would just seemingly just churn out all the time.
That's right. All right, sir. Well, the Rockers and I jumped to the prior bracket there. The Dream Team or the Rougeaus. The Dream Team did hold the gold. I do not believe the Rougeaus did.
No, they always chased, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Dream Team just based on the pedigree of the two guys there. Because, Hammer and Beefcake were mainstays of the wrestling scene for the 80s.
Yep.
So, yeah, I got to give it to them. How about you?
I'm going to go the same. Dream Team, I hated them, but that means they were effective heels. And so I very much appreciate their work. And again, thought that they were champions for much longer than they were, and probably should have been. So I'm going to go with the Dream Team. All right. Our next pairing are the Midnight Express and the Islanders. So again, and this one is near and dear to Uncle Todd's heart because Uncle Corny is the manager of the Midnight Express.
Mm-hmm. Or as he just refers to him as the Midnight.
That is true. And this is so the classic era of the Midnight. So the Midnight Express spanned from 1980 all the way through 1990. When they were first formed, it was Dennis Condrey, who apparently recently passed away, by the way. Ravishing Randy Rose and Norvell Austin. They often used the Freebird rule, allowing any two of the three members to defend their titles. Mm-hmm. This was in Southeast Championship Wrestling. And then what is called the classic era for the team, the 1983 to 87, managed by Jim Cornette. This version paired Bobby Eaton with Dennis Condrey. Duo is credited with holding a record, ready for this? A record 53 tag team titles collectively across various territories.
Damn.
Insane. Then in 87, Condrey abruptly left. Stan Lane joined Bobby Eaton. This iteration reached new heights in 88 by becoming the first team to simultaneously hold both the NWA World and United States Tag Team Championships. And then we had the new Midnight Express in 98, which was a short-lived, this gets into the 90s, but this was a short-lived iteration in WWE featuring bombastic Bob Holly and bodacious Bart Gunn, managed by Jim Cornette. This version is widely considered a failure by fans and Cornette himself.
Yep.
So we're talking about, let's call this the Chavo Classic era of the Midnight Express, where Jim Cornette is managing Bobby Eaton. I mean, we can consider the whole spread from the 80s there.
Yeah.
And then we have the Islanders, who were they were managed by Bobby Heenan and consisted of Haku, the man you don't want to get into a bar fight with because he will damn near kill you.
And then stick around to finish his drink while the cops show up.
Indeed.
What?
And then Tama, who was previously known in WWE as a singles competitor as the Tonga Kid. He is the twin brother of Rikishi and part of the Samoan dynasty. Mm-hmm. So Tama and Haku were the Islanders. I do not believe they ended up holding any gold. Let me just double check my, let's see.
I don't seem to remember that at all.
Yeah, they did not have any championship success, I believe, or limited championship success.
Didn't Haku win a tag team championship with Andre?
He did with Andre, yes. He won they defeated Demolition, and then Demolition defeated them in WrestleMania. I think they beat him at a Saturday Night's Main Event, actually. So Midnight Express, who had some longevity through the 80s. Islanders, who were kind of a flash in the pan, but didn't really land much gold. Nothing to sneeze at, those 53 tag titles across all those territories. So where does your heart take you, sir?
I'm going with the Midnight.
Uncle Corny is proud of you.
Come on. You've got to.
Yes.
And you're going to go with the Islanders, aren't you?
I'm going to go with the Midnight Express, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you got to go with the one that brought you, and Uncle Corny and his his tennis racket and managing ways. I believe that was during the era when they tried to do the scaffold match, where he damn near thought he was going to die. I think.
Well, that's where he jacked up his knee, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to go with the Midnight Express. All right. The next one is kind of a no-brainer. It's the Road Warriors versus
I'm going to pick the Road Warriors.
I don't think we need to go into any history on this one. Good God almighty. Road Warriors it is. I'm going to go the same.
I mean, there's a reason why they call it a Road Warriors pop. Like,
oh, my God. The Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair, and what was the other
Jumpin' Jim Brunzell.
Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, thank you. Against the Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, managed by Jimmy Hart, and I think there was a babyface run toward the end of the 80s there.
Yes, yeah, they did go face, yeah.
The Killer Bees were kind of like a babyface jobber tag team in a way.
They were. So the thing is, like, we have to come to the realization that, like, it was a whole different ecosystem of talent in the 80s, because you look at it now and it's a lot like if you look at new cars. Like, there's no clunker new cars now. Like, you can't put out a shitbox anymore like you could. Like, there's no Daewoo, there's no Yugo. Like, all those companies, stuff caught up with them, and the last one that you could probably say was two that you could say is like Kia and Hyundai, and now they're well respected because they had to get their act together, and that's why they had 10-year warranties before anyone else would, because they're like, no, really, we're making good cars, we'll guarantee it over a decade. And people are like, I still don't know. So back in the day, like, you had jobbers. There were people who did nothing but just lose. It was squash matches. Like 50% of these shows was squash matches because they were building up whoever. But then there was this weird sort of, then you could have some of those jobbers that they then became kind of a name brand, like the Brooklyn Brawler, Iron Mike Sharp. Some of these guys that got a little bit of notoriety, but they were still jobbers. I believe that there was then a thin sliver of where you're still enhancement, but they were kind of trying to keeping them on simmer. It's like you're not even really on the back of the stove. You're kind of in that middle section where you have that, like, the fifth burner, where it's a warming area. Like, that's where I feel like the Killer Bees were. Like, they kept them there on that warmer plate. Like, we don't want to job them out all the time because we might need someone to come up and fill in kind of in the mid card of the tag division. But we're really not going to ever, they're not going to be a top team. But we got to keep them somewhere, like, above a jobber, so that then if we need to throw them into something, we can. So, like, they're in this kind of weird spot because they definitely weren't, like, when it would come out and be like, and the team of Bill Smith and Flamingo Jones. Like, I know who's going to win. Whoever else is against these two schmucks. They weren't quite at that level, but you also were like, there's no way these guys are going to be, like, main eventing anything, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
But they were they were good. I mean, I do remember, like, thinking they were kind of
I remember
cool
Brunzell and Blair had great drop kicks, but they weren't I mean, when they got in there, those guys got up in the air. I mean, they were impressive that way, but like, this is where I would separate them from the Rockers, where they were just kind of a very vanilla babyface tag team.
Yes.
Like, they didn't bring anything different or new to the table that hadn't already been done. They were just kind of like, running around in these ridiculous, like, yellow and black striped, tights.
You know who they were? They're the babyface version of the Conquistadors.
There you go. Except they didn't have the masks. Right?
You gave them just enough of an identity.
Yep.
Where it's like they justifiably could be on a show against a decent talent, and it counts as, like, a decent win, when it's not just two jamokes who just show up from, like, because they're in Wisconsin, so these two guys are from Sheboygan, it's not a far drive. We don't have to pay them gas money,
That's right. Nice.
And then, of course, the Hart Foundation is the Hart Foundation.
Yeah, I mean, they held the tag belts a couple of times. Had some just amazing feuds with the Bulldogs, with really all of these teams from the 80s, most of these teams, the Rougeaus, trying to think, the Rockers, Demolition. Yep. I mean, just solid team. And then that, of course, launched Bret Hart into his singles career. I'm going to go with the Hart Foundation on this one. I think it's a no-brainer.
And, of course, had one of the greatest tag team finishers, which is not really a thing anymore. Like, that's one thing that I'm pissed off about the decline of tag team wrestling is tag team finishers are not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
The Heart Attack was a great finishing maneuver. We need to go back to, like, the Demolition, whatever they called their finisher. That was another one that just looked devastating, where you're like, that legit looks like, even if you do everything right, you're still accepting that it's going to hurt like hell.
Yep.
The bar is like, oh, it's going to hurt, but at least if we do it right, you won't be crippled.
Right.
And the same thing with the friggin' Heart Attack. It was like, I mean, you'll probably be all right.
Yeah.
Just take a couple extra Tylenol tonight. You'll be fine.
Be all good with some Excedrin.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
we're both
with the Heart
going.
Foundation as well, by the way.
Yeah, we're both going with the Heart Foundation. Last first round matchup: the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Again, this is kind of a WWE concept. It's not the Brainbusters / the Horsemen, but I mean, I kind of look at it that way a little bit. I don't know. I think both in WCW and WWE, these guys were elite against the British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a tough one because both of these teams, I very much enjoyed. I mean, the Brainbusters are kind of weird because just the name is just kind of weird to me because I'm surprised they couldn't come up with something better for Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Now, they came in and they did the spike pile driver, which was a damn impressive finishing maneuver. You talk about double team moves. I mean, see Arn Anderson coming off the top and basically grabbing the feet while Tully Blanchard is pile driving the opponent. I guess the name kind of speaks for itself in a way, but at the same time, just, being the Horsemen and knowing their pedigree and where they came from, I don't know. I kind of wish they had a different name, but the Bulldogs, of course, their history is well known. They fought a bunch of these teams in WWE from, 84 through, I think 88, 89. But man, what a team. I mean, Dynamite Kid, especially, he was such a freaking hard hitting son of gun. I mean, it was just incredible to watch him fight.
Was he the one that did the snap suplex? Or was that Davey Boy Smith?
Yes.
I just remember seeing that as a move in the back in the day, and just that quick motion. I was just like, dear God.
He did that. He did the flying headbutt from the top, and damn, were his clotheslines look freaking stiff. And he just nailed the guy.
Didn't one of them also do, or was it him as well that did the power slam?
Davey Boy Smith was the power slam.
Oh, that another move that just looked like, okay, yeah, that hurts like hell. That sucks.
Unless we not forget Matilda.
Well, of course,
the dog.
Yes.
So,
excuse me, the bulldog. Thank you.
The bulldog.
I just want to make sure because I firmly believe watching British Bulldogs on Superstars is the reason why I've always wanted a bulldog. I've not yet achieved that dream. There's two dreams I have in my life that I have yet to achieve. I want a house where I can have a pool table, and I want an English bulldog.
Oh, good Lord.
That's what's keeping me going, sir. That's what's keeping me going.
Hey, you're part of the way there. You have a house with a pool, right?
But it's not a pool table. I don't give
I know
a crap
it's not a pool
about the
table,
pool.
but you have a pool.
Like, I enjoy the pool, and the pool is there for my wife, and I'm happy to maintain the pool and to deal with all that because it was her dream. My dream is I want a pool table. And not just I could stuff it out in the garage. No, I want a nice room. I want a billiards room that I can shoot some pool in and have friends and sit around and have a couple beverages.
Very nice.
As I have a bulldog that just sits on the couch and sleeps and snorts and farts.
And oversees the proceedings.
Exactly. Yes, that is my dream.
All right, sir. Well,
what do you got?
Given the pedigree of these teams, who are you going with?
I actually just changed this one because I saw it because I'm like, I don't know if I had a fever dream while I was doing this. I originally had the Brainbusters, but I think it's partly because of like you said, the pedigree of Blanchard and Anderson, and because of just the history that they're involved with. But all of that history really doesn't have anything to do with this team.
Mm-hmm.
And God bless them for the crispest spine buster in the business. I just can't get it over on the Bulldogs, so I'm going to have to go with the Bulldogs. I mean, they were one of the teams, iconic teams.
I did the exact same thing when I did my picks earlier today. I went with the Brainbusters, and I just switched it over to the Bulldogs because as I thought about it, longevity, impact, that sort of thing, I had to go with the Bulldogs. It pains me to do it because I love Arn Anderson, and I love that team, and they were different. And I liked what they brought in WWE, but they were super short-lived. They were only
not to
there
mention
for a
Bobby
year.
Heenan. Don't forget. I mean, Bobby Heenan. You have to almost give him an extra 10% just for Heenan's antics at ringside.
Yes, and they did upset Demolition. Like, they were the team that ended Demolition's long streak in a 2 out of 3 match. So they have the big upset, but that team was only around for a year in WWE. And if you consider them as the Horsemen. Yes, they had an impressive run, but I just look at the British Bulldogs and I feel like they get the nod. So,
and I mean, really, this is just like an addendum to their resume as the Horsemen.
Yes. So I think you and I were pretty much in alignment for most of these picks, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. So
right.
I've got Freebirds and Demolition when we head back to the top here.
Yeah, so we've done the background on these teams, so we're going to fly through the rest of this. So Freebirds and Demolition, which is really ironic because both teams, so the Freebirds established the Freebird rule, Demolition then leveraged that said rule.
Mm-hmm.
You would think the nod goes to the originating team that came up with the concept, but as much as the Freebirds were a massive team, I kind of consider them a regionally impactful team, not a nationally or globally impactful team.
Well, so, and this is where this leads into a funny Uncle Corny story where he was talking about there was something, I think it was one of his Kevin Dunn stories where he was talking about how Kevin Dunn didn't believe that so-and-so could be this and that and the other, and they're like, and he's like, well, they done this, and he's like, well, nobody knows about the Freebirds, Jim, and he's like, Michael Hayes works for the damn company.
That's
like,
awesome.
It's like, no, they were known all over the place. They worked here and this and that and the other. It's like, oh my gosh,
Yep.
It was great.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say regional. I just say it's non-WWF. Like, I mean, because at that time, like they still like Jim Crockett, WCW.
That's true.
Like,
they did fight in WCW. Yep.
yeah,
You're right.
So I mean,
right.
They did have a national exposure. It just wasn't in WWF, which I mean, truly, I think even though Jim Crockett and WCW, they kind of had Turner behind him and all that at a point, but I think WWF was really kind of the first true national promotion in that.
Oh yeah,
it was just ruthlessly expanding. So it. Yeah.
Not to mention, the Freebirds were actually featured in a movie.
What movie?
The Highlander. The very beginning of The Highlander. He's meeting someone in a parking lot that is outside of a arena that is hosting a wrestling event, and Michael P.S. Hayes comes out,
of course,
as one of the Freebirds, and he's part of that. So
I got to go rewatch that now because I don't remember that.
But regardless of the Highlander reference, I'm going with Demolition because they just for me, I'm all in with them. So you can probably kind of see where my bracket's going here, but
yeah,
I'm going with Demolition over the Freebirds because as much as the Freebirds brought the rule into play, Demolition was a freaking wrecking machine of a team, and whenever they came out, I was at the edge of my seat wanting to see what they were doing. So I'm going Demolition on this one. How about you, sir? You going Freebirds or Demolition?
I'm embracing the bias of Demolition.
There we go. All right, we have the Rockers and the Dream Team. Who are you going with here?
I'm going with the Rockers because even though they didn't hold the title, this is one of those deals where I believe that their impact was outsized compared to their longevity and maybe accomplishments. If anything, I feel like this is probably one of the biggest misses creatively for WWF in the 80s, like to not keep the Rockers together long enough that they got a reign. Like, how do you blow this? They were electric. And the thing was, like,
yeah,
by any different, I mean, it's not like they were great interviews, but they were good enough.
Yep.
Like Shawn Michaels wasn't Shawn Michaels yet, and they were still very much in the whole, hey, we're going to yell things for a couple minutes, but it was good enough.
Yep.
Their ring work was great. They both had, like, even though they were both not big guys, they still had like a good physique, which was very important back in the day. I mean, they were, fast and frenetic and all that, and the ladies loved them. I mean, kids loved them. Like, yeah, I don't understand how that team kind of just didn't. I know that you eventually want to get Shawn Michaels as a single star, but I mean, damn, how do you not like, get them to be like, hey, no, we're going to put the belts on you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then we'll split this, or whatever. Like, I don't get that one at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you on that one. So Rockers advance as well. We have the Midnight Express versus the Road Warriors.
Well, I think even Corny would be all right with this one. I'm going
Tell him, Hawk.
I'm going Road Warriors. In spite of the numerous titles, in spite of all of that, like the Road Warriors were a fracking phenomenon.
They were.
And again, I think if either of us joined the Cult of Cornet Facebook page and posed this question, I think you would probably be like, well, son of a bitch, I would have to give it to him. That'd be my guess. Actually,
I give it to him, and then I want a Domino's pizza afterwards.
I might actually send that into the corny drive-through and see if it gets answered.
You should see. You should do it.
All right.
All right. Our last one is this is interesting. Both from the Hart Dungeon, the Hart Foundation versus the British Bulldogs. I went with the Road Warriors as well, by the way. So
yeah, 3/4 of this bracket, this matchup here, did come out of the dungeon, right? There was only one of them that wasn't, right?
Yeah. I thought all four did. I thought Neidhart and Dynamite.
Oh, maybe I'm just thinking of like having like an actual familial connection, because I know what Davey Boy,
because all four of them were in Calgary Stampede. They all competed in Stu Hart's Stampede.
Well, yeah, but Neidhart married into the family, and Davey Boy married into the family.
Yes.
So it was just Dynamite Kid that wasn't, I believe.
He wasn't in the family, but I think he trained with them.
Yeah. I
became part of Stampede. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Who do you got?
I got to go with the Hart Foundation. I love the Bulldogs, but the Hart Foundation, man.
I have such a feeling of how this is going to go.
Slapping the heart attack.
Up until the next bracket, I feel like this next level is going to be the determining factor, because I'm going with the Hart Foundation as well. So I'm very curious how this is going to turn out. I think we're both going to wind up in the same place, but it's going to take a twist along the way.
We're down to our four. All right. So do we both have Demolition and the Rockers?
We do. And who do you take out of this one?
Oh, I'm sorry. For a moment, Janetti's over the knee. Here comes Axe with the elbow off the top. Demolition's taking it. I'm sorry. It's how the matches went back in the day. It's how things are now.
This was two of my favorite tag teams. This is probably, if I had to name my top two tag teams of like when I was growing up and watching this as a kid, like these were my two favorite tag teams to watch. Agreed. I've got to go with Demolition as well. They were just imposing. They were kind of terrifying. They were like, I imagine like back in the day, they were probably like the APA. Like people were just like, I don't know that I really want to work with these guys. Just going to get my ass kicked for like 10 minutes. Like,
I'm going to have welts on my back.
Even in fake fighting, I'm going to get my ass kicked. What would it be like in a real fight, Yep. Oh my gosh.
All right. Now this one's a tough one. The Road Warriors versus the Hart Foundation.
I'm going Hart Foundation.
Really?
I am, because again, if I had a number 3 favorite tag team, it's the Hart Foundation. All right. And I saw, it was either at like the grocery store, or I was a big fan of Paperback Bazaar, up at the Tri-City Cineplex, Ames Plaza, on the Somersworth Dover line.
Do you know my mom's cousin? My mom's cousin owned that bookstore.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. I used to love going there because I was a huge comics kid, and that was one of my favorite places to get comics. And but I just remember, like, at different places, like wrestling magazines were a big thing back in the day, and so there'd be different newsstands and stuff like that because print was huge. And actually, what was the news shop downtown Dover?
Foster's?
No, not the actual paper, but there was like a magazine newspaper shop, and I think they also probably sold cigarettes and everything else. But then there was also one in the mall. But I remember going to all these places, and you see all the wrestling magazines, and I remember seeing the Road Warriors on all of those. Because they would always, they'd be on covers here and there, and I was into wrestling, so I would look at those. But I really didn't ever see them on TV, because I think by the time they made their way to WWF, I was kind of tuning out at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I understand their cultural significance within wrestling, this bracket right here in the 80s is very emotional to me. So it's like I am totally going on vibes here, as the kids would say. Yeah. And Hart Foundation, like, that's the number 3 tag team, because the finishing move, the contrast between the two guys in the team, like, you see Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and you're like, yes, if there's a guy who should be called the Anvil, it's this guy. He's like the fourth member of ZZ Top. It was just one of the things I thought of, and Bret Hart was just always excellent in the ring. They just worked very well, and it was the contrast between their body types and their style.
1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
That dude looked like he'd always come off like a 5-day Coke binge.
The more that he was grabbing at that beard, oh my God.
Oh yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'm totally going with my emotions on this one, and sorry folks, it's not historical. It's my bracket. So who do you got?
Well, unfortunately, Brett is up on Animal's shoulders, and Hawk is coming off the top.
The Doomsday Device, which what a fracking great name. Come on.
It is a tough call, but the thing that I think will separate these two teams is the Road Warriors and they're just their global reach across the decade, as opposed to the Hart Foundation, who were, certainly part of the global, machine of WWE. I don't remember in the 80s if WWE was as international as it is now.
No,
I don't think it was.
Not even they weren't even as international as they were in the 90s. Like because when they did the SummerSlam in Wembley, that was early 90s. Like I don't think they really did. Yeah. They did tours, but I don't think they were huge.
Yeah. But I'm going to go with the Road Warriors on this one, advancing to the finals against
totally
Demolition.
Legit, dude.
So
totally legit. I mean, it's one of those deals where for me, I look at that and I'm like, in that matchup, I can make a compelling case for either one. It's like which one's going to tip you over the edge, and to me that was emotion. So I got Demolition and Hart Foundation. You've got Demolition and Road Warriors. So you've got Hydrox and Oreo, however you want to look at it for you.
Basically.
And I've got like Oreo and Chips Ahoy, I guess.
Yes, you do. So who are you going with?
Demolition.
Oh, very nice.
Again,
very
the
nice.
vibes are in control right now, and that was the tag team, man.
Yeah, that was.
How about you?
Well, earlier today.
Oh, here we go.
Earlier today,
the defense is mounting, sir. Your Honor.
Earlier today, I was aligned with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now. Oh, what a rush.
I love how this almost turned into a Godfather thing. Like, and now I'm going to have to kill you.
No, but I
totally, and I get it. Like,
I agree with your pick for Demolition. I was going to go with Demolition all the way, and kind of literally just now, as I was talking about the Road Warriors and the Hart Foundation, I'm looking at this like, and it's not about the Road Warriors being the first to be like the monster tag team, but it's also the fact that they did this across multiple promotions, and that's the one thing Demolition can't claim, unfortunately.
Totally.
Now, it doesn't mean what you selected was wrong, because like I said, I was ready to, with Demolition versus Road Warriors, I was ready to go with Demolition because they are my favorite from WWE. But as we get in, we're not going to do the 90s tonight, but when we look at the 90s with the Legion of Doom, which was kind of their incarnation in WWE, I just feel like this is the pinnacle of the Road Warriors is the 80s.
Oh, absolutely.
And so this is the time. I mean, as much as it pains me, I got to pick one. I love me some Demolition, but the Road Warriors I got to go with. So I'm going to select them as my top 80s team from the bracket.
Totally understand.
All right.
We got another region to go.
We have another region to go here, and hopefully we move a little bit faster. But
I'm good to go if you are.
All right, let's get into it.
All right.
We're going to move from the 1980s. We're going to move ahead to the 2010s, 2020s, ladies and gentlemen.
I got high cholesterol. You can't do that to me.
I was gonna say, are you going to choke on? So what did you have in that bowl? Is it peanuts or cashews? Or
so it's a gluten-free snack mix. It's not
okay.
great.
Okay.
I think I'm going to have to make my own. But
what is the snack mix? Like, what is it?
So there's almonds, there's cashews. There's like these.
Okay. So it's nuts.
These little things, and there was some pretzels, but there's actually like precious
Okay.
few pretzels. It's kind of it's a real crap sort of thing.
All right. Well, actually, you know what? I need to take a bathroom break, so I'm going to go do one right now.
Okay, fine.
3 weeks later.
So I'm chewing up the last of the cranberries. Impressive. Most impressive.
Yeah, it ended a week. I was hoping to kind of end with a little bit of a flourish.
All right. Ready?
Sure, why not?
There we go.
I am so leaving that in.
You should.
Oh my God.
It's like John Witherspoon.
How did I not do that with my trail mix? Damn it.
We've had every part of the pig, from the rooter to the tutor. Oh my God. Oh, John Witherspoon.
A national treasure, ladies and gentlemen.
Amen.
All right, where are
so
we on our
funny.
brackets here? We're an hour in. Where are we at?
All right. Primetime play. This is the 2010-2020 teams. That's right, folks. The teams were so strong, we had to slam 2 decades together in order to get 16 teams that were worth talking about.
Decade and a half, sir. Decade and a half. Come on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So we have the primetime players. Hold on.
Who were? Do you even remember? Because I sure as hell didn't. I had to look half these people
Titus
up.
O'Neil, the real deal, and Darren Young, also known as Mr. No Days Off.
I saw Titus O'Neil and I was like, okay, it's probably going to be the other team for me. I wasn't even sure who the other team was, and I'm like, it's probably the other team.
Aren't you going to give some points to Titus O'Neil for not decapitating himself on the ring when he went down for that one row? Oh, my God.
I mean, that was
kind of the scariest damn thing.
It's kind of like table stakes when you come down to it, really. Like, did you not brain yourself on the ring? Good for you. No gold star. That's called showing up for work. All right, and who are their opponents?
Oh, wait a minute. Did you want to consult the Chat GPT rankings for the 1980s?
Oh, yeah. What did AI rate as the 80s?
All right.
Yeah, we forgot about that.
So AI broke it down this way. So basically I had it rank those 1980s teams based on championships, length of reign, longevity as a team, success across promotions, cultural impact / influence. So it broke it into like several tiers. So tier 1 is what it calls the Titans, the all-time elite and era defining.
Can we go down? Can we start from the bottom and work our way up?
You want to start from the bottom? Okay.
Yeah, please.
So tier 5, the lower impact short runs. This distinction goes to team number 16 is the Rougeaus.
Fair.
Which is fair. Entertaining and memorable, especially as heels, but limited championship impact.
Yeah, I'd almost say Killer Bees would almost be more there, but okay, I could see Rougeaus as well.
Number 15, the Powers of Pain. Good look and push, but never reach top-tier success.
All right.
Now we get into tier 4. Solid contributors, notable but less dominant. Number 14, the Islanders. Strong heel presence, memorable feuds, limited championship success.
All right.
The Killer Bees. Popular and memorable, but lacked major title dominance. Number 13.
All right.
Number 12, Strike Force. WWF champions and solid run, but relatively short-lived.
That seems a little bit low, but this was kind of stacked. All right.
Tier 3, as it calls it, major players, strong peak, some limitations. Number 11, the Rockers, massive popularity and influence, but no sustained title success keeps them from climbing higher.
Okay, I guess. That still seems a little low, even trying to take the emotion out of it to me. Feels like they should still be in the top 10.
Number 10, the Dream Team, strong WWF heel champions with a long reign, but mostly confined to one promotion. Number 9, the Brainbusters, elite across NWA and WWF, but short run together, limits ranking, incredible efficiency, less longevity. So I think it's one of those things that they did a lot in a short period of time, but it was a short period of time.
I feel like the Rockers and the Brainbusters should be swapped.
Okay.
That's just me. Okay.
Number 8, the British Bulldogs. Shorter peak, but hugely influential. Big WWF moment at WrestleMania 2 and strong international presence. All right, now we get into Tier 2, the Dynasty Builders. Major success and strong legacy. Number 7, This is number 7, by the way. Demolition.
Oh, illegitimate.
WWF dominance, 3 title reigns, and a record-setting run. Less global success than others above, but unmatched WWF consistency.
AI needs to be unplugged immediately. It's over. Ladies and gentlemen, the experiment has been invalidated.
Number 6, the Fabulous Freebirds. Innovators of the Freebird rule, massive drawing power, and huge cultural footprint across multiple promotions. Number 5, the Andersons, Ole and Arn era. Quietly one of the most decorated and respected
I forgot about
ever.
these mofos, and now all of a sudden they're sneaking in the top 5.
One of the most decorated and respected teams ever. Titles across NWA territories and elite technical reputation.
Bullshit. Okay.
Number 4. I love how you snuck that in there. Bullshit.
Some bullshit right here.
Number 4, the Hart Foundation. Long WWF run, multiple titles, and foundational to tag storytelling. Not as many promotions, but extremely strong within WWF. And now we get to the Tier 1, the Titans, all-time elite and era-defining teams. Number 3, the Rock and Roll Express, the ultimate babyface counterparts to the Midnight Express. Long runs, huge crowd reactions, and massive success across the territories.
All right.
Number 2, the Midnight Express. Tag team craftsmanship at its peak, multiple versions, tons of titles, and legendary feuds. Their influence on tag psychology is still everywhere.
I figured that was going to be like back. I thought those would be reversed. All right.
And then number 1, the Road Warriors. The gold standard, dominated every major territory, NWA, AWA, Japan, WWF, massive title count, huge aura, and arguably the most influential powerhouse team ever.
Fair. The only argument there I have is the Andersons. That's shocking to me. Everything else is a nit. I feel like I literally forgot that they were included in the matchup, and all of a sudden they snuck in there. I'm like, wait a minute.
I know, like because we literally like glossed over them. I mean, we didn't really talk much about them, but yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What was
Fair
their
enough.
matchup again? Actually, yeah, we didn't really talk about them at all. Why was that?
I think it was because the Road.
Oh, because they were against the Road Warriors. There was nothing to talk about.
I was like, anyone in the Road Warriors, like, probably not.
Oh, man. But the one thing I will say about those top 3 teams, the Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, Road Warriors, they were across multiple promotions.
Fair.
So
absolutely.
That is the one thing that I don't dispute from this list is, as much as I love Demolition and Hart Foundation, they were very much myopically WWF, and nothing else. And there is something to be said for teams that can go to different promotions and maintain their level of success that way.
True, but then you also have to look at, like, at times, like when you look at like WCW or WWE when they were going back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, who was on top at that point? If you are the top of the top promotion.
Sure.
And at this time, like late 80s, WWE was, WWF at that time was the top promotion. They were the brand name. So I think that to me, that legitimizes picking Demolition over Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Not that I feel like Axe and Smash need much, defense. Crush maybe a little bit, but Axe and Smash no.
All right. Well, let's get into the 2010-2020 teams. So we have the primetime players.
Yes.
Titus O'Neil, Darren Young against The Bar, Cesaro, and
Sheamus.
Thank you. All I could think of was Rusev for some reason. Sorry. Cesaro
Two
and
very different people, by the way.
Cesaro and Sheamus. Who are you going with?
I'm going with The Bar.
I'm going with The Bar as well. Which is funny because in some ways weren't they slightly like a updated version of the APA? Didn't they actually have some bar brawls at some point?
Dude, you're asking me?
I don't know. I was just asking.
I was not a Cesaro fan, and I think this was a little bit before my time, before getting kind of back into things.
All right, I'm looking it up right now.
You do that. Was it the friendly tap?
Let's see.
Did Tim White get a remodel out of this one too?
The WWE tag team The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, famously participated in a massive scripted bar fight on the November 28th, 2016 episode of Monday Night Raw. While the brawl was a choreographed television segment rather than a real-life incident, it served as a crucial turning point that transformed the two rivals into a cohesive team. They were forced into a tag team by general manager Mick Foley, but continued to argue and failed to cooperate. And then I think they united after this bar brawl. So this is when we had Mohawk Sheamus, by the way.
Yes, as we get more of his gleaming.
And I think the bar was kind of a
white
double
head.
entendre because I think it was the bar, like, yes, they were kind of born out of that fight, but it was also like they were setting the bar.
Yeah, this is the bar that everything's measured by. Like, yeah.
Yes.
No, it makes sense. And that right there to me, like, is also like just in the names. Yeah, I'll take the bar over primetime players, especially when you're talking about Titus O'Neil and whatever the schmuck. Like, sorry, no, you're not primetime.
Yep.
Not even close.
Yep. All right. Next up, we have RK Bro versus The Shield. Do I need to go into any sort of credentials, or are we clear? Yeah, there we go.
Anyone that doesn't involve what's his face, bro.
Matt Riddle.
Yeah, anyone that doesn't anything that doesn't involve him, I'm for that.
Like Randy Orton, especially a mustached Randy Orton.
That was an interesting era. I will say that.
Some would call it a porn mustache, Randy Orton.
I don't think it quite ever got that. Well, no, it was definitely probably porn star. It definitely wasn't cop mustache because it wasn't bushy enough.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely won the tag belts, but yeah, we're not going to go with them. We're going to.
I mean, the Shield is iconic.
Yeah,
they're iconic. You know, I mean, you've got the Shield corner is named after them, and just the look and everything else. It was. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. They were very distinct, very unique. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Shield as well. Okay, we have Imperium and the Street Profits.
Who you got
familiar
here?
with the Street Profits?
I am familiar with the Street Profits. I forget. Are we including Gunter in Imperium, or are we just talking about Kaiser and Giovanni?
I think we're talking about the whole group in the same way that when we talk about the Shield, we're talking about all three members.
Yeah. Even including Gunter, I'm going with Street Profits just because of the sheer athleticism and yeah.
Wow. I did not see that one coming. Well, we're going to have a difference here because I'm going with Imperium.
Let's look at how
Matt is sacred.
Yeah, and let's look how that worked out. As soon as Gunter started getting some shine, then Kaiser and Giovanni became glorified jobbers.
They were a tag team.
They were, and they went pretty much nowhere.
Let me look that up.
You go right ahead.
Let me look that up.
Street Profits had a pretty badass intro. They were exciting to watch. They've had at least a couple tag runs, like title runs. And
let's see.
Up until like Javon Evans showed up, like was it Montez Ford? Which one's the dude who does more of the aerial stuff? Is it Montez?
Montez Ford
was one of the guys who just made me go like, I don't believe that you can actually. Are we sure there's no CGI involved here? Like he would do stuff for a dude his size that was just gobsmacking to me.
I will have you know, sir.
Oh, will you?
That the team of Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci held the NXT Tag Team Championships not once, but twice. That is all.
I am not nearly drunk enough for this shit. Go ahead and look on your Google machine there. Look up how many times does the Street Profits hold the NXT titles
I'm going to.
And the WWE tag titles.
Hold on.
You go right ahead and Google that.
Let's see. Street Profits have won titles across NXT, Raw, and SmackDown brands. They've been WWE Tag Team Champions. They've been the SmackDown Tag Champs, Raw Tag Champs, NXT Tag Champs, and Evolve Tag Team Champions, which is now part of WWE.
Thank you.
I'm still going to go with Imperium.
Case. You go right ahead. It's all about what you want. I'm just saying
Imperium's better. Okay. The mat is sacred. That's all I'm going to say. Uncle Todd is not drunk enough for this.
And I'm not drunk enough for this next matchup either because I had a real hard time picking one here.
American Alpha versus Heath Slater and Rhino. Gore, gore, gore.
We have long hair Gable and fat Rhino. Like,
Yeah,
there's no winners here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Everyone's
there's
a loser.
plenty of winners here.
Really, is there?
Long-haired Gable, baby.
Okay.
And Jason Jordan, for that matter.
Okay. Who you got?
I just said Gable and Jordan, American Alpha.
Okay. I'm going to go with Slater and Rhino.
Really?
I basically flipped a coin here. I could care less with either of these.
Let me just make sure I'm thinking correctly about who American Alpha is. Yeah, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan.
Yeah. No, I remember you had it right. I remember from Googling it the other day, and I'm like,
NXT Tag Champs, SmackDown Tag Champs. They defeated the Wyatt family.
Good for them.
So Heath Slater and Rhino, I don't know that they won anything.
I don't really care. Again, I flipped a coin.
Hold on. When
between that and having Alpha in the name, just kind of was like, meh.
Oh, Heath Slater and Rhino won the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. They became the inaugural champions by defeating the Usos at WWE Backlash in 2016.
And there we go. A pay-per-view win, inaugural, like setting a precedent. What more do you want?
They held the titles for 3 whole months. Wow.
And
all right, that's fine. Go with Heath.
Like, these people are not in my family tree. I don't give a shit. Like, it's,
all right,
it's like,
all right. Next up, we have DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, and I'm forgetting the other guy's name.
Johnny Gargano. Johnny
Gargano.
Wrestling.
Johnny Wrestling against the Revival, who is now in AEW.
Which so
as
they're
FTR.
What does FTR stand for?
I want to say F the Revival.
Okay, fine.
As like a middle finger to WWE.
I couldn't figure this out, and I did all of 30 seconds of research.
Yeah.
But, okay, I feel better now.
Could also mean F the Russo as well, but who knows?
Or the Rougeaus.
Or the Rougeaus. That's true.
They hate Canadians.
One thing I'll say about the Revival, they've won their fair share of tag belts. Even though they won tag belts in NXT, I don't know if they won anything in the main roster.
Well, to hell with them then.
Let's see. Did the Revival win?
I love how you do this like a computer hacker in a movie where you're talking out loud as you're typing. I love that.
They won tag titles NXT, Raw, and SmackDown brands.
Let's put them in the Hall of Fame then.
And now they're also AEW champions as well.
Which doesn't mean squat because it's not the Revival, it's after the Revival. So they're actually disavowing their earlier success.
Okay. All right. And then DIY, they had a short-lived run as a team. They did get back together at a certain point. Let me see.
At a certain point. It wasn't that long ago. Now Johnny Gargano is doing his thing where he's just like planking everywhere he goes.
I wouldn't even call that planking. He's just kind of laying on his chest.
Yeah.
Depressed. Let's see.
Has Ciampa debuted in AEW?
He has.
Okay.
He has.
I couldn't remember if that was another.
So they are two-time. The DIY is two-time WWE Tag Champions, former NXT Tag Champions. Most recently held the WWE Tag Championship from December of 24 to March of 25. They're no longer current champions, nor will they be because Tommaso Ciampa has moved on to AEW. So, DIY versus the Revival. Who are you? Three of the principals in this bracket are in AEW at this point. So, who are you going with?
DIY.
I did as well. All right. 4 letters, 1 word. The Usos against Awesome Truth. Who are you going with? Jimmy and Jay, who have had, let me see, how many tag titles have they won? How many?
Too many.
Have the Usos won? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking when I'm typing, just because.
No,
they've won 9 tag team championships in WWE.
Good for them. Their mama must be proud. I'm so happy.
Is. It says right here.
Yeah, and
She's
Naomi
so
ought to be
she wanna
proud too.
slap your mama.
Naomi ought to be proud too, and she ought to be wondering like, how come my baby ain't getting the mic more often than that chucklehead Jay? Like we figured out which of the Usos has the better talent on the mic. Come on now, H. Let's get on this.
Are we doing the Miz and R-Truth, or are we doing the Usos?
As much as I love Awesome Truth, including their short-lived revival when they debuted the new belts and just flummoxed. What was it? It was Pierce and Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I love both the Miz and R-Truth, which is funny to me because I hated Mike Miznansky when he was on Road Rules back in the day, and it to me is just baffling the trajectory of this gentleman's life and career. Which the only solace I take is that it's absolutely baffling to him as well. If he has any degree of self-awareness, he's literally just going, your guess is as good as mine, folks. As much as I want to, I got to go with the Usos. They've been the multi-time champs. They're highly decorated.
Yeet.
Yada 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 yada.
Yeet.
Yeah. Although it was close. I was very close just doing Awesome Truth out of spite.
Yeet.
I'm team no yeet, so just shut your hole. What do you got? Who are you going with?
I'm going with the Usos, baby. I'm going with the Usos. I agree. The Miz and R-Truth are entertaining, but got to go with the ones that got you there. And the Usos are a team that have spanned both of these decades, the 2010s and the 2020s, 9 tag team championships.
Actually, didn't Awesome Truth, because they started back in the 2010s, didn't they? Because I don't remember them being a team until recently, so it must have been before this, before like 2021, like pandemic era, because that was it was just before that I kind of started watching again. It was actually pandemic era, because it was right around Thunderdome.
So they've only held the tag titles once, and they formed. No, you're right. They formed in 2011.
Okay.
Let's see. The duo reunited for sporadic matches between 2013 and 2019, and then they had another reunion in 2024. So you're right. This is actually this is interesting. That's
crazy that's when they won the titles.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So I'm going to go with the Usos nonetheless. Awesome Truth is entertaining, but not enough to get to the next round.
So what are we going to call the Damian Priest, Ron Cena, R-Truth team? Are we going to call it like Ron Priest? Damian Truth?
I think we should call them
D-Truth? Ooh, D-Truth.
Oh, the whole truth.
Actually, Damian is D-A, da Truth.
Da Truth. There you go. Could do that. Now, Damian Priest is also known as the Archer of Infamy, and now he could be the Archer of Truth.
Feels a little wordy. And it's been a long-ass time since he's been known as Archer of Infamy, really.
Well,
I feel like that hasn't been a thing for a while. Like, he hasn't even, because he used to do the whole, like,
yeah, I know.
That
the
ain't been a
invisible
thing for a while.
bow and arrow, which was just kind of stupid. So.
Which, I mean, I get it in a way, like, it gave him an excuse to flex.
All right, let's move on.
If I had an excuse to flex, I would.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Now, this was a round that just felt unfair to me because I want to advance both of these teams, and I can't, and it really pisses me off, but I had to pick one.
Good.
So we have the New Day. Let me pull some stats up on the New Day. Hold on here, because New Day sucks. New Day
I love the latency is throwing this off completely.
Absolutely. Let's see. New Day.
And another Freebird rule team, right? Or did they ever do that? Or was it just kind of E was always peripherally involved? Like the tag team was really Woods and Kofi.
I don't know. It's a good question. So let's see. They hold a record 13 tag team championship reigns across Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Their second reign with the Raw Tag Team Championship lasted 483 days, making it the longest for that title, which was definitely longer than Demolition.
By what, 5
Freebird,
days?
during their first 6 reigns, all 3 members were recognized as champions. So they exercised the Freebird rule for their first 6 of their 13 reigns. So yes. The New Day also holds the record for the longest combined reign as a team at 699 days, which is more than Demolition.
Yeah.
So impressive. Most impressive. And then we have the Wyatt family. Which I don't know that they really.
World in his hands. He's got the whole world.
Let me see. Wyatt family held tag team championships across multiple brands. They won the NXT tag titles, SmackDown tag titles once. Let's see. I think that's it. Oh, Bray Wyatt won the Raw tag belts with Matt Hardy as the Deleters of Worlds. But that's pretty much it.
That's a cute little gimmick.
Oh, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton defeated the inaugural champions Heath Slater and Rhino for the SmackDown tag belts.
Ooh.
Interesting.
But that's not really Wyatt family, right?
And then they lost those belts 23 days before. They held the titles for 23 days before losing them to American Alpha in a 4-way elimination. Oh, this is interesting. All right. So I'm just going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to go New Day because of longevity, number of championships, length of reign. As much as I love the Wyatt family, I got to give the nod to the New Day. They are the better team.
So,
come on, Agent of Chaos. What do you got? What do you got?
Wyatt family is iconic.
They are.
It was the vibe of that entrance.
Yeah.
However,
Uncle Todd's going to make his choice based on the entrance.
Well, no, you got to give it to New Day because, again, longevity, like everything you just said, it is cool to have some of these things, but it's like, was it history changing? I guess in some ways you could say it is, but I mean, is it more history changing than folks who were trusted to carry these belts? What, 13, 15 times, however many it was. Yep. It's a long ass number of times to be handed the reins to a division that, granted, Vince McMahon has been trying, and I can't say this enough, that Vince McMahon has been trying to kill off since the 1980s, but still means something. It's tough to argue against the New Day in this scenario because I would have liked to have, wouldn't have been to have like Slater and Rhino against the Wyatt family. That would have been nice, but no. Our AI overlords decreed that this would be the matchup.
That is
hate
true.
This timeline.
Who are you going with?
No, I'm going with New Day.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. All
Mm-hmm.
right. I'm going New Day as well. Last one is Judgment Day versus Team Hell No.
I mean,
Team Hell No, of course, is Daniel Bryan, not Bryan Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
And that's got to be Kane.
And who are we counting Judgment Day as? Are we going back to like OG Judgment Day?
So they held tag belts as, let's see, Balor and Priest.
Okay, so that era, okay.
Balor and McDonough. And that is all. So,
yes. Unfortunately, Judgment Day has suffered from a complete lack of direction. And the problem is, here's the actual problem. And it's just coming to me now. The fact is that Judgment Day has had enough charismatic pieces at any given time in their history to justify them staying together.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, they've always had at least one or two people that are like enough to kind of carry the rest of them. And when they weren't, then they had R-Truth orbiting that kept them interesting. So it's like they've never had a great excuse to break them up or to implode the whole thing because there's always been someone. You had Rhea, and then you had Dom, and then now you have Liv, and you all there's always been this thing, but it's a faction that is going nowhere quickly. until like now, I mean, now that it seems like they might be doing something, but then again, we've had a couple of these things before where it's like, nah, they're probably not going anywhere. As opposed to Team Hell No, which has the iconic, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a backstage vignette, but it is a recorded vignette of Bryan Danielson and Kane going to couples therapy, and Kane listing out all of the things that have gone on in his history, just very matter-of-factly, which is comedic fracking gold, ladies and gentlemen. Team Hell No. Easy call. Call. Yes.
They held the tag titles once for 245 days. You're going to take them over the team that's won it multiple times?
Yes, because they are far more interesting of a tag team.
Oh.
Far more interesting.
I'm going with Judgment Day.
You go right ahead, and you're
poo
wrong.
On you, sir. Poo, I say.
Are you saying boo or poo?
Poo.
Poo?
With a P. Poo. P-O-O. That's right.
As they say in Good Will Hunting, she ain't got no teeth, Will.
God. All right. That ends the first round. May God have mercy on us all. All right. Now, let's get through the rest of these and call it a night. All right. So, in the second round, I have the Bar and the Shield. Do you have the same?
Same here.
I am going to go with the Shield on this one.
I was going to say, is there really a question here? Yeah.
There is not a question here. It is the Shield.
Or is it,
Sierra Hotel?
I don't know what the rest of it is, but.
Idiota.
Yeah, something like that. Look at you. Was that some Spanish you just
I dug out some Spanish. There you go.
That's like Eddie Murphy delirious. Like, man, goony goo. I thought I learned some new Spanish shit.
That's right. Although the rest of the letters are like eats, lots, ding dongs.
Well, because there was so many people cheering at that point.
Right.
Which is crazy when you think of, like, again, like the span of that team, that when Seth Rollins came out to the Shield theme, people lost their ever-loving minds.
Mm-hmm.
All it took was like a tactical vest and some pants and a
Sierra Echo
and be, like people throwing their babies at the ring. It was insane. Take my child.
I don't think it quite got to that point. I mean, geez Louise, guy.
Well, that's because they were worried about you wanting to kill the kids. I mean,
God. Jeez Louise. All right, next matchup. I have Imperium and American Alpha. I think you have the Street Profits and Heath Slater and Rhino.
I do, and I went with the Street Profits.
All right. I don't
give me that smoke.
Oh my God. I had Imperium and American Alpha. I'm going to go with Imperium.
Do you remember so it was big on, I don't know if they did TV commercials, but they had at the time Ric Flair doing a commercial with the Street Profits. And like Ric Flair was like, he was like a tailor. And it was like, the way that they were doing it, I can't remember what they were promoting.
You gotta send me a YouTube link to this. I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
It was literally like
fever dreams you were having.
No, it was literally like Ric Flair, like literally after he railed like 5 lines and 3 energy drinks. It was insane. I'll see if I can find it. Hang on, let me see if I can find it and carry on. All
right. So I went with Imperium advancing into the next round. My next bracket is DIY and the Usos. I believe you have the same. Is that correct?
Hang on a second. I gotta look back now. DIY and Usos, yes.
All right. So DIY and the Usos. I'm going to go with the Usos based on the longevity, the length of title reigns, the number of title reigns. They are simply a more dominant team than DIY. Who are you going with, sir?
I got to go with the Usos. Under protest, of course, but yes, I'll go with the Usos.
Hey, 4 letters, 1 word. Oh, wait. Okay. And well, I suppose that was well deserved.
I ain't running nothing back.
My next bracket is the New Day against the only team that should have advanced, the Judgment Day. Now, I believe you have the New Day and Team Hell No.
I love how you said the only team that should have advanced, and it's the only time in recorded history that's been said about the Judgment Day for anything. Yes, I have the New Day and Team Hell No, and I'm advancing Team Hell No.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm kidding. It's a New Day.
You better be. Good God Almighty, your bona fides will be in question at this point. My
I want
God,
to see if that vein would come out right here.
God. Yes, I'm going to go with the New Day as well. As much as I advance the Judgment Day, I feel the New Day is the better day between the 2 days. So.
You solely did that for that reason, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that.
Out of the 2 days, I'm going to go with the New Day. Oh man, that felt good. Woo!
Gosh.
Should I get
together.
title belt?
Pull it together, would you? Jeez, be a professional.
I kill me sometimes. All right.
You're going to make me go back to the bar here in a minute. And I'm not talking about the tag team.
All right, we're down to the final 4 for this bracket. So I have the Shield and Imperium. Who do you have?
I have the Shield and Street Profits, as it should be.
Oh, my God. Who are you advancing?
Give me that smoke.
Are you kidding me?
No.
You're going to advance the Street Profits.
Nah.
What?
No, I'm going to go with the Shield.
Of course you're going to go with the Shield. Because otherwise your bona fides are rejected. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Shield as well. As much as I like Imperium, the Shield is the more decorated and better team. Now, Imperium has had more longevity, but not at the main event, not the main roster level. So,
okay, whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
I mean, whatever.
Well, whatever.
Thank you.
All right, we got, let's see. I have the Usos and the New Day. I believe you have the same.
I do.
And who are you advancing?
No, we're going with the New Day.
Ah, very nice. I did as well.
So what, we got New Day versus Shield all the way around?
I think we do.
And who do you have, sir?
Well, as much as I enjoy the Shield, the New Day has the longevity, has the title reign, has the length of title reign. I'm going to go, it's a new day. Yes, it is. What are you doing, sir?
I'm going with the Shield.
As great as the Shield was, they only lasted 2 years.
I don't care. They're cooler.
New Day went 10, baby. 10.
And they probably overstayed their welcome.
Oh.
I know. The truth hurts. The truth hurts, don't it?
The truth will set you free.
It will.
All right. So going into the finals, one of the finals brackets of my final 4 will be, for me, the Road Warriors versus the New Day. And you, sir, will have the Shield versus Demolition.
I will.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. I love how we're because a lot of the times when we do these brackets, it seems like we're very much aligned. And then we get to this final 4, and that's where stuff starts getting really wacky, which is I enjoy.
I know you do, because you're an agent of chaos. That's where you get your jollies.
Well, yeah.
All right.
And are you kink shaming?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
Because apparently you age shame, so you know.
And you're in favor of infanticide, which we learned on Week and Geek Wednesday.
I am not in favor of.
You are. You were like, kill them kids, Dr. Doom. Go ahead, kill them all.
You said you were okay with it too. I don't know why you're not dragging your name through.
Possible.
Man,
do it. Do it.
All right, where do we go from here?
Well, what do you have for And Another Thing, sir? A recommendation for our viewers and listeners?
Well, I thought it would be apropos to have basically an old. I'm trying to think of the. What were those old WWE videos they used to do in the 80s? I can't. They were called something. I can't think of.
Coliseum Video.
Thank you, Coliseum Home Video. This is on YouTube. It's called Demolition: Witness the Power. So if you are unfamiliar with the body of work of the team of Demolition, this is 90 minutes of some of their best matches. Where they're fighting. They have the match where they defeated Strike Force for the tag belts, numerous title defenses against some of the top teams. I think one of them being the Hart Foundation. Goes on to when they turn babyface and continue their tag title reign. And so, no, just I haven't watched it fully all the way through, but it was fun to kind of watch, go back to when I was a kid and watch them, when they first debuted and when they won the tag belts. We had a friend who would get the wrestling pay-per-views. So I would, my dad and I would go over there and watch them, and it was, fun to be exposed, to that team for the first time and see them dominate the way that they did. And so I would just say, if you were a fan of professional wrestling and want to, especially before they make it into the Hall of Fame in a few weeks here in April, definitely check out Demolition: Witness the Power, because they are they were an amazing team. May have been short-lived, but and not even short-lived, but just didn't have the decade-long run that, let's say, the New Day or maybe some other teams or the Usos have had, but very impactful and very memorable. So do check it out. It's on YouTube. I have the link if Uncle Todd could be so kind to add it to the show notes. And do check it out.
Love how you act like that's a special request. Like I don't do that every single week.
You don't. You overlook the stuff that I bring in. You don't read the articles that I post. You don't include the links I provide. I feel like
you're taking a very Kevin Owens sort of turn here without even like doing me the service of changing your tuxedo T-shirt between segments, which quite honestly, sir, is a lack of effort. It's a lack of effort.
I just want to make sure my contributions are recognized. That's all.
Well, it belies a man of your stature and your professionalism.
Thank you.
As for me, I'm going to. I want to couch this referral or recommendation in that I'm
it's
not.
Always good when there's a disclaimer before he tells you what it actually is, because this is building up to something special. I'm sorry. Please continue.
You ought to all go watch Wanda the Wicked Warden, because I got around to watching it. It's fantastic.
Did you really?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
So I just want to make sure that people don't think I'm recommending this as like one of the great pieces of cinema of our time. It's a fun watch. So when Kaylin was home for spring break, we were looking around for some different movies to watch, and for whatever reason, she's gotten into F1 racing in a big bad way. And so there is this movie F1 on Apple TV Plus, and starring Brad Pitt as well as I don't remember anyone else. Anyways, so we watched it together and kind of all agreed like it was a fun watch. Don't know that I ever need to really rewatch it, but I mean it's a fun watch, good way to watch, spend a couple hours, and it's a story of an aged driver who once upon a time was in F1 and then wasn't. And he is like that guy who, in most of these stories, like he's the driver, he gets it. He's instinctual and all this. And I think what made it great for me was there's an element of a lot of different movies that I've watched, like Days of Thunder, Ford versus Ferrari, even Driven with Sylvester Stallone, which is an abjectly horrible movie, but it has its moments. You know what I mean? All kind of included here. And there's a bit of purity to the movie in that it doesn't fall into these moments of like, and then the character changes. Like the character kind of, like there's change, but not necessarily in the way that you might think. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I was sort of like, oh, okay, well, that was all right. Like it actually kind of remained true to the characters and who they are, So I would recommend it. Don't go into it looking like you're seeking out Godfather Part 2. It is not. But it's a fun watch for an afternoon with fam or with whoever. I mean, maybe not with a fam. There's a couple of parts that might be a little, lascivious for, those who are not college and high school viewers. But, otherwise it's all right. It's, yeah. I mean, anyways, but it's a fun watch. So I'd recommend that to our listeners and viewers.
As long as it's a fun watch, the lascivious nature of what happens in there is okay.
Well, I mean, it's lasciviousness on a very, elementary level, as Chucky would say. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show for this Free Range Idiocy Friday. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We so appreciate your listenership, your viewership. You can go to freerangeidiocy.com and find all of our audio shows there. You can subscribe right through the Podbean app if you would like to keep things audio only. You can go to Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, and Amazon, as well as many, 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 many others, and find and subscribe to us there. You can also find us in full glorious HD video on Spotify, but also on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@freerangeidiocy. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook at the same @freerangeidiocy. If you have any thoughts, concerns, questions, perhaps an offer of outright bribery. I mean, hey, it's not like we're doing so well that we wouldn't take a little bit more. You can send those to tim@freerangeidiocy.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinguished pleasure to turn this over to the least idiotic member of the show. Granted, I mean, there's only two of us, so it's not a high bar to clear. However, he does it every single episode with a dignity and a grace that belies, his rather, stocky stature. Actually, you're not. I'm more stocky. You're not stocky.
The heck was that?
I was trying to relate it back to a wrestling term. Like, how would you describe me?
Just for that,
I could kind of see you as like the next generation Iron Mike Sharp. I could see that. I could see you doing
Iron
that.
Mike never held this. I'll tell you that much.
I turn that over to the man they call Tim. Not before I ask the second most important question in all of human history. The first, of course, being what is hip. The second being, what the high holy hell did we learn this episode? Anything?
We have learned that Uncle Todd and the man they call Tim, our knowledge of tag teams might not be at the same level as finishers or singles wrestlers, but it's there. It's you just gotta seek it out a little bit.
You're saying it voted present? Is that what you're saying? Is it neither a yay or a nay? Like,
basically,
I'm here.
Basically. We've also learned that tag team wrestling as a whole has kind of, not exactly grown since the 80s. It's kind of gone downhill a little bit. And clearly we know more about the teams from the 80s than we really know about the teams from the present day.
Yeah, which doesn't say much, does it?
No. There's just not a lot of history there, unfortunately. And I don't know, not a lot of interesting info and history and background there.
Hey, Motor City Machine Guns won on Friday.
They did. Good for them. Hopefully we're heading toward something of relevancy for that team, because I really wanted to see more from them, and I feel like the company has really dropped the ball with the creative on that front. Unfortunately. And I don't put that on them. I put that on the creative. Like they have a great team on the roster that they should be utilizing to the fullest, and sadly they're not. So hopefully we will see more from them. But we have also learned that the man they call Tim, his picks are smooth, right, and on point, and Uncle Todd goes off target a little bit.
Smooth? There's no reason to bring shaving into this, sir. Both of us are very furry individuals. We don't need to bring any. You are the opposite of smooth. The only thing that's smooth is the top of your dome. Everything else. You're a Velcro.
Don't make me take this hood off. Don't make me show you how smooth I am.
You are half of a Velcro pad, sir. Let's just admit it. and I am too. So I'm not casting aspersions.
No.
Game recognized game.
Not at all. We've also learned that Uncle Todd and man they call Tim are much more knowledgeable in the 80s than they are in probably any other decade. But we will see you in the next show when we get into the 90s and the 2000s. With all that being said, we thank you for the listenership, and we appreciate the downloads. And as we like to close things out here on the range, be safe, be healthy, be kind, be good to one another. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. The range is closed for now. Happy and Marco are on the prowl. Look out. See ya.
I like a Mussolini.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
I beg your pardon, what did you say?
I don't have to say a lot more about the way I feel about Ric Flair. No respect, no honor. There is no honor among thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time. And Ric Flair, you put hard times on this country by taking Dusty Rhodes out. That's hard time.
You're such a disappointing pair. I prayed so hard for you. Get out. And don't come back until you've redeemed yourselves.
So say we all.
So say we all.
They're probably busting in here anyway. Actually,
I'm kind of half expecting like see a cat like jump up from behind like. Rawr.
You know where they are? They're downstairs on the bed. They're both conked out.
Are they really?
At about 2 a.m., that's when they're both going to wake up and be like, ooh.
Time to prowl.
Oh, yeah. And they'll get like a bell out, like the ball that has the bell in it.
That's fantastic. That is
I'll
fantastic.
be like the dad in A Christmas Story. Son of a your mom and dad.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Gosh. That is too funny. Too funny, my friend. Too funny.
Now get the hell out of here!